Welcome back, guys, to Dark Heresy. We're going into hour number 2 here. I see a lot of people joining the chat upset that they missed the first hour. Most of you are subs, though, so just go watch it. Anyway, Steve, what's going on?
So we've just gotten some information out of Jerichus, who now has things have gone too well for him. Jax was just telling us about how Karn of Phaedrus has invited him and the rest of the team to a hunt. So I think you guys are going to go to Eli, run it by him, see what he thought, maybe go join her. So take it away, Jax.
So I knock on Eli's door, say, Eli, you emo son of a bitch, are you in there?
What time of day is this, Steven? Like noon?
Did you guys go like right after the interrogation?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it'd be like noon or so. You've probably gotten 4 hours of sleep by now, Eli.
You know, I'm a hard sleeper. I don't wake up.
Okay.
I don't answer to Jax's door knock.
I try to micro-beat him, because now I don't think he's in there.
Okay. So you're like voxing him?
Yeah. Eli, this is Jax, come in. Eli?
I wouldn't sleep with that thing on, right? Or is that something
it would
I can
probably
remove?
be like next to your desk or something like that, like next to your bed. So you probably hear like a little buzzing. Like, is it, Eli, what are you doing? Come on.
Should I roll to see if I hear that, or?
It's
entirely. I don't want to hear that, but
you can just choose not to hear it.
Okay, I choose not to hear it.
Okay.
Interesting. Doesn't seem to be. I turn back to Engelbart and Fricks and say, doesn't seem to be in his room. He's not responding to his box. I got an idea. If he is sleeping in there like this lazy son of a bitch that he is, Engelbart, is there any way you can emit a gas underneath the door that would wake his sorry ass?
Doesn't seem like a particularly good idea. It would be a waste of the sacred gas. I would suggest perhaps a feedback screech might be appropriate.
Oh, yes.
I like this. Go for it.
Are you guys all standing right next to Engelbart?
You're laughing, yes.
You may want to back off a little.
Yeah, just press yourself against the door and go at it for a little while. We'll back up, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Right. Well, I press myself up against the door and I emit a feedback screech.
Cool. Can you describe what this is like? What are you doing to emit this?
Well, it's coming from vox emitters built into my esophagus.
Okay.
And it is being thrown out there by vox amplifiers that are mounted in my shoulders. It is the kind of thing that would sound glorious to any of the Adeptus Mechanicus, but to flesh ears, it sounds like an unholy cacophony of tech noise and
we determined
code.
last episode it sounds like Skrillex. I think
Yes,
that's what
for the most part, it is dubstep.
Yeah. Cool.
He's going to drop the beat.
Yeah, well, you drop the beat against this door, emitting some horrific shrieking sounds. Eli, you definitely hear this and wake up.
Yeah, I wake up screaming, what the fuck?
Let's see. Everybody, all of you make a willpower test.
Okay.
Do I have to make a willpower test?
No.
I was going to say, that'll be a bit weird.
What is my willpower? 35, so I still do
Well, I didn't get it.
I almost got it.
Okay. Yeah, okay. The three of you are stunned for an entire round.
Okay.
And then
So then I don't wake up, I guess. I'm just
you
stunned.
wake up, but you're incapable of acting.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just like, oh god. What's
Yep.
happening?
All right, the feedback screech stops. You all recover. Eli, I guess you slam open the door.
Yeah, I open the door. I'm like, what the fuck? Hey guys, what the
Rise and
fuck
shine,
was
Eli.
that?
Yeah, basically, I just wanted to ask you if you want to hunt tomorrow morning.
Yeah. Who are we hunting? Who needs to die?
Ratman. We're going to go with
Ratman.
the house matron, and it's a political thing, but we need her in her pocket, and Fricks has brought up an interesting point. We actually have a lead. We'll fill you in on it, but it's tomorrow morning, bright and early, so we'll come back and get you tomorrow morning, okay? Be ready.
You know that? Okay, sounds good. I opened the door completely nude, by the way, because you just woke me up in the middle of my sleep.
So Eli sleeps in the buff.
Exactly.
Frick's reaction, real quick.
I deploy my electron
laughing,
microscope
still
to
laughing.
examine.
Yeah.
Oh god. Okay. You want to meet where we mean tomorrow? I'm still kind of dazed from waking up.
Just meet in front of the house, I suppose, around, we're going to leave at 7, so 6:45 or so.
What do you guys? What's the plan for today then?
What's about noon? So you have the afternoon to do whatever you want with.
Rest up, I suppose. We don't have time to do our mission, so we just have to buy time for today.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. I'll meet you guys out in the courtyard tomorrow.
Okay. So, anybody have anything specific they want to get done this afternoon?
I want to get as much sleep. Like, I guess the question is, how much can I sleep, and then sleep again tonight? Like, because I can't just sleep for 8 hours, then be like, well, I guess it's bedtime. 4 hours
Take
later.
a laziness test.
You would probably want to be getting up around now if you wanted to sleep well this evening.
Okay. All right.
You're playing hell with your internal clock.
Yeah, exactly. So I kind of shut the door, and I guess I go sit in the bed and start trying to wake up, and I'll let
Cool.
whatever everyone else wants to do.
If I recall
All
correctly,
right.
do I still have this data slate that we haven't even looked
Yeah.
at yet?
Yes, you
Yeah.
do. That was Fricks handed it to you, right?
Yes.
So she got
we
it
should
from.
Probably
Victor's.
have a look at it.
Okay.
I'm gonna.
I go with Engelbart to take a look at it then.
Yeah, me too.
All right.
Cool. You're just trying to like decrypt this back in your room, Engelbart?
Yeah, pretty much. So use whatever equipment I happen to have back there. So by decrypt, I assume that means it is encrypted.
Yes, it is an encrypted data slate.
Okay. Well,
Well,
I'll
that
have to
would
start
be
by
it.
trying to pacify the machine spirit then.
All right. Roll to pacify the machine spirit.
All right.
Ooh. What's your tech use?
It's a box.
Engelbart. It's plus 10. It's your intelligence, so it's a 48, which is very close.
If I apply a little sacred oil, can I push that up a little bit?
Yeah, I'll say, it seems like the machine spirit is behaving crankily. The data slate begins flickering on and off very rapidly, but you manage to apply a little sacred oil to the hinges, and finally it lights up, turns on fully. The machine spirit is pacified. You have access to the contents of the data slate, but they are still encrypted.
All right. Well, I guess I'm going to have to try and decrypt them then. I think I have security use. And if I recall correctly, my mechadendrite, my utility mechadendrite actually gives me a bonus to that.
Cool.
I have to find out what that is.
Yep. So there's the security. Sounds good, and I'm just going to see if I can find that as well. Whichever one of us gets to it first.
Yeah, but it's under
Win.
economics, I think.
Bionic replacement. Utility mechadendrite. Plus 10 to tech use. So we'll say that you applied the sacred oil with your utility mechadendrite, granting you this success. There's no bonus to security, but you can take your time this afternoon and
Yep.
really be very careful, which will give you a plus 30, and it'll take you a couple hours to decrypt
All right,
the thing.
we can do that then.
Cool.
While he does this, I mean, Jack, should we maybe go see if we can find anything out about this gnarl?
I mean, if you have any ideas, I'm all ears, but I figured we'd just kind of go there and see him out. I mean, if he's a guy that's paying a guy to get organs, I'm guessing he's not going to be in any kind of yellow pages, if you know what I'm saying.
Well, of course, but Jerichus also ran with some seedy folks at the bar. He played dice. Like, it's possible we could get something. Just, I don't know.
Sure.
I ain't got nothing better to do except for eat donuts and
I
smoke.
know.
So
Engelbart, you're 94. You start
Right.
you start poking around in the menus of this data slate and applying, algorithms that you keep encoded in various limbs of yourself. And unfortunately, the entire data slate flashes red, and the lettering on the screen reads "purging ...
I'm
The
terrible
entire
at
data
security.
slate purges itself quickly over a period of 8 or 10 seconds, and then it flashes up another message, and it says "log distributed to," and then there's a long string of coordinates.
Oh.
All right. Well, can we identify where those coordinates go? Are they encrypted or not?
Do you have anything like they're not encrypted? Do you have any like navigation, like stellar navigation? They look like
Oh, they're galactic coordinates?
yes.
I don't, but I could take that to
I have
the...
stellar navigation.
You do?
Yes, I do.
Why the hell would you have that?
Because I was on a space hull.
You were in a space hulk. Yes, that is fair. All right. Well, I guess I take an image of those coordinates and I'll go and try and find Fricks.
Okay. Do you want to just Vox her? Or were you guys with Engelbart?
They
We
wandered
hadn't
off.
decided what we were doing yet. So
Okay. So I guess if they haven't yet decided what they're doing, you can just sort of turn around and
He,
ask Fricks.
He still calms her, though.
Okay. Yeah.
Come in, Fricks. Come in.
Fricks walks out of the shadows somehow once again. I'm right here, you dumb bastard.
every
Cool.
time. Yes.
I've got to ask, by the way, considering the way the deleting usually works, is there any trace information that I could perhaps dig up from this slate?
You could try to take some time and see if you could recover something from it, but that would be like another couple hours worth of your time.
Do I have that time?
Yeah, you could definitely do that with
All
your
right, well, I'll try and sort of analyze it and see if there's any shreds of information, and I'll give the coordinates to Fricks to work with.
Okay. Fricks, give me a roll against your stellar navigation, and since you've got these coordinates right in front of you, give it a plus 30.
Okay. So D100 plus 30.
Well, not D100 plus 30. It's your
What?
target number gains plus 30. So your stellar navigation would go
rolled a
against your
17.
intelligence, I think.
Yes.
He nailed
Yes.
it though. Like that's fucking low shit.
Yeah. It goes against your intelligence, so your intelligence, instead of being 34, would be 64. You rolled a 17, which is way below your target, is fine. You identify them very quickly as pointing to the capital planet within the Calixus sector, known as Scintilla.
Scintilla. Capital Scintilla. Okay, so we've identified the location of the coordinates. I'm not familiar with Scintilla. I'm not, we'll have to look more into that and see what that could lead to, but we did get...
No, we got this data slate off the mutant, correct?
Yes.
All right.
It was in one of his personal effects.
It would seem the most immediate conclusion to reach is that he's taking orders from off-planet, but for right now we got to work on planet to chase down these details and just kind of keep that in the back of our mind for now, I suppose, right?
Yes, and I mean, technically, the mutant in his data slate and these messages are not necessarily related to the organs. We just know that the organ came from the mutant and is being sold to the fleshmith. So,
Fair enough.
it's
It's likely they're related, but you're correct. There's a very
Yes.
good chance that it's just someone that wants money off of mutants' organs, I guess.
how Scintilla relates to the daughters being kidnapped and taken, and why we confront the mutant. That's I guess the other lead we need to look into.
Very good point. All right.
So what did you guys want to do, Jax and Fricks? You were talking about going somewhere.
I will
this
back
afternoon.
up Fricks. Like I explained to her that if she wants to chase down the lead at the bar or something like that, that's fine. But I have my doubts that there'll be anything productive to come out of it.
Well, I mean, the other option, Jax, is that we do maybe look into Scintilla and maybe just ask the lady of the house, why, is this place mean anything to you? Or it could help us in the disappearance. Besides, we haven't told her that we're going on the hunt anyway.
How about this?
So we should probably.
You have that conversation. I trust you with that. I'm going to try once more to tell what's-her-butt that there's someone trying to kill her, and see if the bitch has time for me this time.
She was supposed to go to the dice game, but the dice game I don't think ever happened. Okay.
And I'm sorry, Steven, I forgot her name again, but
Her name is Ella Tyrannus.
right, Ella.
Yeah. And I've got this
Hey,
handout
hey.
of characters.
So I'm going to the matron, right? The matrons who no, or who invited us?
Karna Phaedrus. She's the matron. Matron Phaedrus.
So I would like to go to. I'm going to go to her, accept the hunt, and then also ask about this coordinate that we got.
Okay. Yeah, she responds very delightedly, is very happy that you have decided to join them. She even smiles warmly and says, "Yes, I have a surprise for you tomorrow morning, Fricks." Now, what was it you were asking about?
Well, you remember the mutant that we confronted when we discovered that your daughter was being held. We recovered something from this mutant that eventually led us to a capital sector called Scintilla. And we wanted to know if the word, the sector means anything to you. Perhaps there are enemies of the house from the sector, or you know something that could lead us in the right direction.
She sort of thinks for a moment and she says, Scintilla is a very large planet. Its tithe grade exactus extremis. Its population is 25 billion. It has a temperate climate with extensive equatorial deserts, 3 main continents. It is a large seat of power and focus for all manner of activity within the Calixtus sector. Has a series of very powerful hive cities, but I have never had dealings with Scintilla or any cause to ever associate with them at all. So I'm afraid I have no idea why this planet may be coming up in your investigation of what's happened to my daughter.
Okay. I guess while I'm here, are you familiar with any sort of organ farming happening in these areas as well? Have you ever heard of anything as such related to the case? The mutant had some organs stolen, and we have some leads there.
Organ farming? I've heard it happens, but I tend to stay out of such business. Interestingly enough, I have a gentleman joining us tomorrow. His name is Cortez Barboza, and he makes his trade in the transportation of corpses and remains from a number of worlds to the cemetery worlds within the sector. He might know more.
Out of game real quick. Now everyone's going to see if JP is going to metagame the shit out of that. Fricks enters and is like, hey, is there anything I can help with? Is there any guests coming tomorrow or anything?
Great. Thank you very much, Matron. I appreciate the information, and we will certainly be looking forward to tomorrow's hunt.
Yes.
Thank you. And
Delighted.
I'll leave. I'll leave, and I'll report my findings, including the fact that she told us that Cortez Barboza will be present at the hunt as well.
Okay. Eli, when Fricks tells you this, what's your reaction?
I kind of smile, and when you were going to come back to me, I assume I was going to seek him out within the. Am I in? That's a question that I wanted to ask.
Yeah.
Am I in the Ophelia block right now? I am, right?
No, you're in the Phaedrus house,
Okay.
Phaedrus family house. You're in the barracks.
Right. But I'm like, how far is the Ophelia block from where we're at? Do I know?
It's down basically one sector in the hive. The 2 blocks are basically the Phaedrus family block is up here, Ophelia family block is right below it. So if you remember, when we we had the plan to go to the Astropaths Guild, or the Navigators Guild, rather. We, followed a service elevator up into the Phaedrus residential block, and then we met a guard that gave you guys the key that was sort of tampered with, so that sort of stymied you. And then on that floor, you met the guards from House Phaedrus, who got you in with the matron.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't respond at all to what Frixus says. I just take knowledge of that.
Cool. Engelbart, let's find out how you fared at sort of trying to recover some fragments of data from this data slate. Give me a tech use roll, and give yourself plus 30.
Yep. Shouldn't it be plus 40 because I'm mechdendrite as well?
Sure.
There we go.
Yeah, that's quite good.
Sorry, I didn't show that.
You managed to recover and dump to your internal memory banks sort of a fragmented chunk of what was on the data slate. It actually looks like a medical reporting tool, almost as if and like what you can find from it. There's like regular dates and times at which a report needs to be submitted. Unfortunately, appears that none of the data was actually stored on this device, but rather transmitted elsewhere. So that's all you're able to find out from it.
Wonder if taking that, a part of that log to the morticians would be helpful.
Could give it a try.
All right, I'll head in that direction then.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you managed to find Mortician Victus downstairs in the Mortician's lab, operating on another body, doing a dissection. What do you do?
I sort of awkwardly wait at the door.
Okay. Well, he sort of turns his head and he says, hello. Have you met Mortician Victus before, Engelbart?
I believe I've met Mortician Victus. I was in the room, I think, when...
Yes, you came.
Yeah.
You came after, because Frix was there alone first, but then she
Indeed.
radioed. Yeah, okay. He says, hello, good tech priest. Yes. What is it I can do for you?
Mortician designated Victus. I have part of what appears to be some sort of Medicine log. I would like you to have a look at, see if it looks familiar in any way.
Oh, yes, well, of course. I can certainly take a look. So, are you sort of like, you've got this in your internal memory. Are you dumping it back into the data slate to get like a fresh look at it, or how are you handing it over to Victus?
Yeah, I'll put it back in the data slate and give it to him that way.
Okay. Well, he takes a look at it and he scrolls through it a couple times. Let me see. I think this is kind of... Whoops. This is kind of working your contacts. When you ask your allies for help or finding an object or information in their field, roll a fellowship test.
He's phoning a friend.
Yep. Fellowship test. Yeah,
This will go
Does
well.
he... but does he have any reason not to talk to me?
Well, it's less about whether he will or not, and more about what he's able to glean from the information that's presented.
Right.
89.
A giant pack of fuck all, by the looks of it.
Yeah. So let's see. Your fellowship is 30. So your partial success would be up to 70. So this is a failure. Okay. I'll have to think about what's the twist here. I'll make a note. Victus. Yeah. Okay. Eli, what are you up to for the rest of the afternoon?
I was going to go down to the... Could I make it down to the Ophelia sector, or the Ophelia block, and then come back in a single day, or is that a
Yeah,
longer
absolutely. It's a short trip. It'd probably take you half an hour each direction. By now, it's probably 5 in the evening, so you've definitely got some time.
Okay, yeah, I want to go down to the Ophelia block, and I assume since I've been tracking Cortez, I know where his shop is at in this area, or no?
Well, you just found out about him at the ball just recently, right? Oh, but since he's the guy that you were aware of before.
Yeah, because I remember you said that I had tried to kill
Yes.
him once before and it didn't go properly
Yes.
or something like that.
Yeah, I'd say that you know generally where he is.
Okay, well, I kind of want to make my way down there and look around kind of his shop, just see what I see, what the layout looks like and whatnot.
Well, he doesn't have a shop because he's not a storekeeper.
Okay.
He's a merchant. And in Warhammer 40,000, a merchant is someone who travels basically interstellar and deals in trade across planets.
Is he a rogue trader or a merchant?
He's not a rogue trader. He's not at that level yet.
Okay.
He also doesn't have the papers and writs that go along with being a rogue trader. But you do know where he's staying. He's staying in a very posh, it's almost like fancier than anything else in the Ophaly family residential block.
Okay.
And it's very well guarded. There's a couple of entrances. There's a front entrance, a side entrance, and then also there's a walkway that connects this building to another, and that's about 100 feet up. Each of these sectors is a very tall and cramped, claustrophobic thing filled with stuff in the Hive City.
Would I know what he trades? Like what he is in the business of trading at all?
I don't think you managed to find that out yet.
Okay. And then I guess the other question is, in the world of 40K, like, the party would not be accepting of me just killing someone else for the Assassin's Guild, right? And I also wouldn't want them to know that it is for the Assassin's Guild, right? I don't know, like, where the moral compass here is with this.
I think that's kind of up to you.
Okay.
Whether you want to tell them, and then it'd be up to them what they think of that. Generally, in the world of Warhammer 40,000, murdering somebody isn't really a big deal. Murdering a merchant or a noble is a bigger deal. You might get in trouble with local forces, but where your friends come in, it might be more like
how they choose to deal with the situation.
Yeah, like is there a way you could justify this man's death to them? Can you make it make sense from their perspectives?
Okay. Okay, that works. So this place you said is very posh and whatnot. Would I be allowed entry into this thing if I just walked up, or no?
Not if you just walked up, no.
Can you describe the building? Like you said, is it multi-tiered?
Yes. There's probably about 10 floors.
Are there windows in this thing?
Yes. They're all tinted mirror glass.
Okay.
And it looks, from the looks of it, you could easily believe that it's Armaglass. So basically impossible to shoot through.
Yeah, yeah.
It's in the very popular neo-Gothic style. It's got probably about 5 stories up, about 10 stories tall, about 5 stories up. There's like a nice lip all around the building where there's like a series of gargoyles and grotesques sort of modeled on the exterior of the building. The entryway is sort of a grand cathedral arch presenting sort of out from the front of this building. And it's lit again with those same sort of glow globes.
Sure.
With sort of molten metal floating inside of them.
Are there guards kind of on the perimeter of this place? You said it was heavily guarded.
Yes. Well, each of the entrances has 2 guards stationed out, and they're wielding pretty serious, heavy stubbers.
Okay. In terms of what is like around this area, it's a wealthy sector. Are there just other buildings? Like, there's nothing in particular.
What are you looking for specifically?
Just seeing like the amount of foot traffic that comes through here. What type of work in terms of the buildings kind of goes on around it. Information like that. Kind of just I'm scouting a place for a heist or something like that. Or assassination.
It looks like the least guarded of these entrances looks like the sort of halfway up walkway that connects to a neighboring building. And that neighboring building, there is a guard at the entrance to it, but it's only one guy. He's only wielding a las carbine. He doesn't look super attentive, and as you sort of wait into the evening, you see he actually sort of deserts his post for a couple minutes before another guard comes to replace him. Maybe he's taking off a little early. Okay. So if you are looking for access to this building, or to Cortez's building, it looks like the neighboring building might be your best bet.
At this point in time when the guards switch out, right?
Yep.
Okay. That's all I want to do is just kind of case the building and gain some knowledge about that. There's nothing else I want to do for the day.
And we'll set a time for that guard swap. It happened at 9 p.m. today.
Okay. Sure.
And we'll hop back and find out what Victus has discovered real quick here. Yeah, so good. Let me take a look at some special rules. This is going to be good.
Yeah, so Eli does fall off the building. Eli, roll a damage check on your leg.
Your right leg specifically. Yeah, cool. All right.
In the world of Dark Heresy, leg armor is the most important armor one can buy.
What kind of shin guard are you wearing on your right leg specifically? Tell me now!
Yeah, okay. Victus looks over the chart, and he says, yes, well, let me just take this back. I think I have some extra data in one of my banks that might clarify exactly what this form is for. He takes it into the sort of, he exits by the second door, goes back into the picked feed room. He invites you to follow him. Engelbart, are you going to accompany him?
Yep.
He takes the data slate and he picks up a cable from the desk and he says, Tech Priest, would you care to say the ritual incantation as I transfer the data to this large database?
Wow.
Yes, I will give the oration of transference.
Wonderful. As you intone, he plugs the data slate into his databank, and immediately his fingers start fiddling with knobs and pulling levers and flying over a series of gold-plated typewriter keys set into the center of this desk, and he hits enter, and he pulls up on the screen sort of a much more complete version of this form. So let me see here. I don't actually think you get a save against this at all.
What? What?
Yeah,
That's
you
never
look.
a good start.
You look at what's displayed on the screen, and immediately you're just stricken by how blasphemous what you're reading is. It appears to be a medical report that lists a whole series of extra organs that you've never heard of before, except that when you see them all listed out like that, you can't help but think of those mountains of men, those titans of war, the Adeptus Astartes. And you know in your heart of hearts that what you're looking at is some sort of reporting algorithm for monitoring the progression of a vile corruption of the Astartes themselves. So I do need to figure out how many corruption points you're gaining from looking at this.
In the meantime, I opened fire on the screen with my las carbine.